I thought that JK and Brooke couldn't surprise me any more than they already have. Brooke was like, hold my beer, because she had me so shocked in this episode with what she decided to ask JK. So we see Brooke blowing up on JK because she went through his phone. It honestly seems like she didn't find anything too bad. And it seemed like she really thoroughly went through that phone. I think JK's just pretty good about hiding his evidence, and he probably is deleting messages, and he probably has like women he is talking to saved under different names. Like he probably has Alex saved under as Pizza Hut in his phone. And Brooke ends up storming off, driving off right before JK has his party. And she ends up calling her mother, and she's like, yeah, I know you're on your way to this party with the boys, but you can go ahead and turn around and take the boys another night, because this isn't going to work out, because JK still has Alex on his Facebook. The mom was like, no, I am not about to turn around. We are 5 minutes away. The boys are so excited, and I'm sure they are, especially with the fact they've already had to reschedule once, and now they're so close to finally getting to see him. And I think Brooke should learn a valuable lesson from this. She's talking about, oh, well, I don't want the boys to get too attached to him when I don't even know where we stand right now. And that's why she should have waited before she got out, before she threw her kids on JK so hard. And you can tell the mom is just ready to get rid of these kids and have some of her freedom back. The mom was like, no, I'm dropping them off. I have stuff to do. You need to just go back, make up with JK. Brooke's mom knows her best, and the way she's acting, you can tell the mom knows that Brooke is the queen of overreacting. Like, I will give it to Brooke. She's a good communicator. Like, she can communicate when she's feeling upset or when she wants to get something figured out. But when it comes to actually, like, problem solving, she just blows up and runs away from the problem every single time. And I was cracking up laughing when JK was like, what does she want me to do? Chase her? I can't chase her. I'm on a damn ankle monitor. And you know what? I think Brooke's one of those girls that's probably just used to running off and having guys chase after her to show how much they actually love her. And that's her way of feeling valued. And I think this is going to be a tough pill for Brooke to swallow, that JK can't do that. And she's going to have to adjust and figure out how to deal with her problems besides just running away from them. So she went back to JK's house, met up with him. JK was in his little matching set. I saw someone on a Facebook group say that nobody's going to be more madder about the Temu tariff prices going up than JK, because it looks like he's got all his outfits from Temu. I ain't knocking it though. I love me some Temu. I probably won't be shopping them so much now that the tariffs are high as hell. But I'm sure that JK told his mom and Brooke to go get all the matching sets they could find before he got out of prison. So she sat there and pulled up on him, and she's like, look, we gotta work through this because the boys are on their way. They're so excited to see you. JK was like, look, I just logged into my Facebook for the first time last night. I didn't even know Alex was on there. You gotta give me a chance to figure everything else out and give me a chance to remove her, and I promise I will, and I'll do whatever you need me to do. And Brooke was like, okay, that's everything that Brooke wanted to hear from JK to make her feel better about the situation. And you know, looking at her on this show, you can tell that she's kind of thinking, oh, I kind of feel like maybe I did overreact. But the real truth is he's gaslighting her and making her feel like she's overreacting when really she needs to trust her gut instinct because she's feeling that way for a reason. And I bet she feels extremely validated now watching the show back and seeing that everything she was suspecting is exactly what was going on. Not only is he friends with Alex on Facebook, but he's calling her. And not only is he calling her, but he's calling her daily. Like every time he talks to her, it's not like just like that awkward time that you've called someone for the first time in months. It always sounds like they're picking up from their conversation where they last left off, literally from that same exact day or literally minutes or hours before. So they end up working things out. The boys come over and they were so excited to finally see JK. They were hugging him, they were embracing him. JK said that he was going to really step up to be that stepfather that Brooke needs. And it seemed like everything was going good for the most part. But Brooke just had this really bad feeling. She's like, man, I cannot trust this man. Brooke comes up with this genius plan and goes to JK and says, okay, well, I don't really trust you, so I think it'd be in our best interest if I just go ahead and move in with you. You know how much of a commitment that is? Because it's not just Brooke. It's Brooke and her two boys, an 8 and a 12-year-old. That's a package deal. And JK doesn't even have his own place. At this time, he doesn't even have a job yet. And he's living with his mama. He doesn't even have his own bedroom. The man is sleeping on the couch. Like, what is she gonna do? Sleep on the freaking floor? Or sit there and spoon with him on the couch and have her son sleep on the floor? Like, there's no room. And I'm sorry, I would never feel comfortable enough to ask someone's mother that isn't the grandmother of someone's kids to be like, hey, can I move me and my kids into your house? That's just asking for way too much, especially with how much they've been fighting since Brooke has got out. Like, they haven't shown anything but toxicity. And that's just going to bring even more drama to JK's mom's house, and she doesn't want to deal with that. And Brooke wants to do this because she feels like it's the only way she can not have JK cheat on her. She thinks she has to be around him and monitor him 24/7 because she feels like the first chance he gets, he's going to run off and cheat. But girl, it don't matter. You cannot stop him from cheating. You may be able to delay it for a little while, but it's eventually going to happen. If the man wants to cheat, the man's going to find a way to cheat. And I just don't understand these women. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect and like I haven't been with somebody who's been a cheater before. But it's just too exhausting. Like, I learned my lesson. Like, if I am in a position where I feel like I have to track someone, like Alexis wants to do with Julius, or if I feel like I have to be around someone 24/7 just to make sure they don't cheat, it's just not worth it. That's just way too mentally exhausting for me. I got enough things in life to worry about that nonstop. There's plenty of guys out here that won't put you through that kind of BS that you can actually be with and have a peace of mind with. There's a will, there's a way, and JK's gonna find him a way to cheat. And Brooke, I don't understand her logic. How she's like, okay, I don't feel safe enough to bring the boys to the party, even though I told them they're going to see JK today, even though she made a big deal when JK had to reschedule because he didn't want to go to prison. But here she is wanting to reschedule over this fight. But she feels comfortable enough moving her boys in with JK and his mother, at least trying to. Like, you are going to have these boys growing up calling women that they get with all sorts of bitches and hoes and talking to their women like JK does. And that is not a good example for your kids. You want somebody who respects you and is going to teach them how a man should treat a woman. I will say, though, Brooke's kids are little mini versions of her. They are literally the male versions of her walking around. It's like a straight copy and paste with her kids. And so JK was like, look, I'm not in no position to move you in right now. Just don't worry about anything. You have nothing to worry about. And then they kind of get in a little argument or disagreement. And then next thing you know, Brooke is calling her mom again after her mom and boys left, saying, yeah, Mom, I'm going to need you to watch the boys for me one more night because we're not in a good position. And the mom was like, no, I am not your baby daddy. And I'm glad the mom said that, because just because Brooke it's like Brooke thinks, okay, I had terrible decision-making skills when it came to who I chose to have as my baby daddies. And since I messed up and didn't think things through, now my mom's got to deal with all the downfall for that. Brooke's always talking about my kids, but we barely see the lady with her kids. And she's been putting her kids off on her mom every chance she gets so she can chase this cheating felon all around town. This man literally has more hoes than he has teeth in his mouth. Well, not anymore because he got his teeth done, but it's crazy how many women are fighting over this man. And after he reassured her that nothing's wrong, he turns around and calls Alex and's like, yeah, Alex, I can't see you tonight, but I'm going to see you tomorrow. So exactly what Brooke was worried about is exactly what is about to happen. Then Brooke's mom kind of had to have a sit down with Brooke and was like, look, you have ran off so many men in the past because you always are constantly thinking they're cheating, you're thinking the worst, and you don't give people a chance to prove themselves, and you just sit there and like ruin the relationship before it has a chance to really take off. And Brooke was like, yeah, I feel like a lot of that has to do with my dad not being in my life, because my dad, I guess he was in her life, but he was a truck driver, so he wasn't really home. So she really never got like a full example of having a male in her home and to give her that love every single day. But Brooke is doing the same exact thing to her boys now. Yes, she's in her boys' lives, but since JK's been out of prison, she's been physically unavailable there for them. She's been out chasing JK all around, and now they're going through the same thing that she went through with her father being a truck driver. And then her two baby daddies dipped out and left her, and now I think that's why she's trying to force JK into this role so fast to make up for what her two baby daddies didn't do. But that is pretty much it, guys. And then JK tried to take Brooke out on a date and borrowed some money from his mom to try to really sweeten things up and get on good terms with Brooke, so hopefully she doesn't try to move in anymore, and so he can try to get rid of her so he can go hang out with Anna. And I'm sure we'll probably see that like in the next episode or two. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this toxic mess. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.